Hey guys, it's Krista here with Blooms and Brushstrokes, and today we are going to be painting this little gem here of a photo picture. So it's our morning glories, and it's a very kind of intuitive style painting. I was having a bit of a rough week last week, or a rough day or something, and I just needed to get home and paint. So I did this one here, and I did them a little bit differently, but I did this one, and then I thought I would break it down a little bit into something smaller so that I could do a little tutorial for you guys. And so it's similar. I mean, I can't recreate something exactly twice because I paint with how I'm feeling. So, but I wanted to give you guys a good idea of what I did to do this painting, and consequently came up with this one. So we are going to go ahead and do this tutorial today. It is the Morning Glories painting. So I'll show you guys how to do the basic drawing and then just how to feel of the paint a little bit. So without wasting too much time, let's get right to it, you guys. Let's get into the fun part of painting. All right, everybody. So here we are. I'm just going to tape this paper down quickly. Again, I'm using the paper from the Canson book that I have shown in my previous videos. It's just, I'll show you guys quickly. It's just this one. I like the size of it. I think it works good for our tutorials. So this is it. The pages come out nicely. So why do we tape this down? We're going to give it a wash. And it just helps the paper from bubbling up too much. So we're just going to tape it down. I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you haven't watched any of my videos thus far, I am a hairstylist by trade. And if you can see my hands, while I was busy doing color today, and although I do wear gloves, when I wash the shampoo, the color out, I'll wear gloves for part of it, and then I don't wear gloves for part of it, and so look at what happens to my hands. So no, I'm not a mechanic, and no, I have already been painting with watercolor paints. I have been painting with hair color today, so excuse that. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to figure out how to not get my hands dirty if I want to be doing these videos, because it looks ridiculous. But the reality is that my hands always have been fairly dry, and so they just absorb everything. So that's my disclosure. Do not judge me based on my hands here. Okay, so we've got this tape down now, and we're just going to sketch out our morning glory. If you don't know what a morning glory looks like, please just go have a look on the internet and have a little gander. This is the painting that I did the other night. I did a short. I kind of got home and was just feeling the vibe to paint, and so I went for it. So I find I'm really good at doing these shorts because I just get in the mode. So it's a little bit more challenging for me to like recreate something exactly the same because I just start feeling it out. So what we're going to do is probably a flower like so and like so, like one that's just on the side, and then we'll do a leaf and then a bud as well. So again, it's not going to be exactly the same as the original one. Just bear with me. It'll be, we'll use a lot of the similar colors. We'll see how we're feeling, but morning glories come in a variety of different colors. So we're going to start off. With our circles again, you guys. So for our first one, we're going to do on the angle here, and we'll do we'll kind of follow that. We kind of do our oval like that, and then we're going to have it come down into kind of like a trumpet look. Okay, or a triangle, whatever. It's going to have a little kind of diamond shape there. That's going to be, the bud where it came out of. All right, and so here, why do we have this oval here? Well, because this is going to give us our guidelines for what we're doing. So we'll have this one look like it's opening up a bit. We'll do that. And this will be our middle. That's our center stamen. I think that's what that's called. And then we'll have it so it flips down here. So we're just going to go and give some texture to that. And that's how that's going to look. Okay, so that's the lip of it coming down. So you can see it kind of looks like, you know, that's where it's all going to. Like there's the center of it. Here's the center stamen coming out. And then this is the trumpet part. So we got that. And that's done. So why do I draw that oval? Well, I've explained it in a previous video because some people were asking questions. It just gives me the guideline, and it's not always a circle or an oval like this one. A triangle is the shape there. So I just try to use shapes to help me, to guide me through the drawing process, because I'm not a professional drawer by any stretch of the imagination. And I just use those little tips. I've just learned them like many years ago. I've learned some tips just like doing some drawing classes. And so I've just learned tips that have helped me, and this is one of them. And so that's just by like looking at a flower and then like just using the shape of it. So we'll go down here, and then I'll just do one that's this shape, and we'll do it fairly big. And we'll have it kind of open it up this way. So it's going to be kind of opening up to that direction. And oh my gosh, my cat. He's into visiting us today because I just got home from work not too long ago. So he's painting with us right now. Okay. So again, I'm not here for instructional videos really on a intensive drawing. So I did my outside circle. Here is my little inside circle, and then I work to the edges with that. Okay, so you guys can see that gives you kind of the shape. Again, like I always say, we do all the detail work when we are finished up with the, when we can go in with our ink at the end. You can take out any unnecessary lines that are in there. And then this isn't anatomically correct. This isn't, and the shapes, I mean, the petal shapes are all different. We're just, you know, my style is a little bit looser. Okay, so we're just kind of sticking with that. Okay, so we'll make the stem come down like that. And then we're going to just have one kind of bud come up. Okay, we're just doing it simple and basic. And then we're going to throw in a couple leaves. Okay, so we'll do kind of a leaf coming off this here. And then we can do a bit bigger one down here coming from the bottom. And let's do one coming out from the side. I think that's enough. No, I don't like that. So why do I pre-draw my flowers out? Because I get too carried away and it all becomes a big mess. So that's why I pre-draw everything out. So that's our drawing to start with, you guys. It's pretty simple. Again, I'm not here to teach you how to draw. If you would like to learn how to draw, there's many videos and many amazing YouTubers that can teach you how to draw anything and everything. If you don't understand what I'm doing, you can shoot me a message, a comment, and then I can help you out the best that I can. But yeah, basically, good enough. Basically, this is just a very rough outline of what we're going to be doing, because we do all the detail with the paint and with the art ink afterwards. Okay, you guys? So to start with, I am going to go over and I'm going to do a light wash. And so what is a wash? A wash is just going over everything with water. You can do a wash with color as well. But today I'm just going to do water, and I'm going to do a light wash because I want it to dry fairly quickly, so we can get on to the fun part of painting. So I'm just taking water, and that's just going to help the paper so it doesn't bubble too much. It's still going to, because it's not, you know, super professional grade quality, but you know what? It's good enough for what we need it for. And so that's why I like to do that. And then it helps, the tape helps from bubbling up too much, even though it will a little bit, but we're still going to just give it a little bit of a wash. And we're just going to do clear on that. I think. Should we do a little bit of a color in the background? No, I think it's going to be busy enough with the colors that we're going to do. So I'm just going to stick with that. And we're just going to let that totally dry, you guys. And then we are going to get cracking on the painting part of it all. So it's just, this painting is going to be a little bit more intuitive. And that meaning that we're going to feel this out. Just the same as this painting. Like I really just started off with going in and doing a light, you know, wash over everything with a little bit of a purpley blue, letting that dry, and then I just felt how it went, and I added splatters and all that good stuff. And so I just really felt that out and didn't think too, I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't get too crazy about like where this is and where that is and all that stuff. There's my cat Tex. Oh, he's popping in. And he always likes to make his little guest appearances. Are you saying hi? No, like you can't just hang out here. He loves when I paint. So I'm using this Yarka St. Petersburg Ultimate 36 full pan professional set. I don't recommend, well, I mean, I guess I do recommend it if you can find it, but I bought this about 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Can't remember. And this set here was $130, and I looked the other day and it was for sale for $408. I'm like, well, what in the heck happened there? And so I'm going to also use my number 12 Royal and Langnickle. I really like it. I don't have another one like that. And then I'm going to use my number 8 for a bit of this. And I will be going in with my script, which is the number 1 script. I'll be doing my detail work with that with my ink, which I will be using the Micron archival ink pen, either a 03 or 01, and then the Windsor Newton gold ink as well. So those are pretty much what I'll be using to do the painting. I may grab another brush here or there, but that's pretty much it. And yeah, I didn't use too much water, so it's going to dry up pretty quickly here. So as far as colors go, oh man. Well, the colors that I've used are olive green. This is a Russian green, emerald green, turquoise blue, violet, rose violet, and then this cadmium lemon yellow. And those are pretty much my base colors that I'm going to use, but I mix them all together. As you can see, there's my green. So those are the ones that I will use. So these 3, and then a turquoise, and then these 2, violet, violet, rose, which the violet rose is like, whoopsie, a magenta, and then violet, and then this yellow. And so, but I mix them together. So those are just so you guys can understand what colors I'm using. Yeah, that feels good already. So I'm going to use my number 12 brush, and I'm going to load it up with lots of water. And I'm going to put down some water. It doesn't need to be everywhere. You can leave out some white spots. All good. And I'm going to go in, and I'm going to do a very light wash of purple. I'm using the violet, straight violet. And I'm going to go in heavy water, very diluted, with that purple, and I'm just going to start to put it down. And it doesn't need to stay in the lines. It can kind of go wherever. And that's our base color. So if you find you want it darker, go in heavier with more paint, less water. And if you want it to be lighter than this, go in with your brush, clean off your brush, and go clean up some of that paint color. Okay, buddy, no, my cat is playing with the water, my goodness. Okay, so we got that one done, and we're going to go up here and do the same thing on this one. And we're going to use that same violet, very diluted, and we're going to give it a wash. All right. Okay. So the nice thing about this painting that we're going to do is just it's going to be very loose and very fun, and we're just going to feel this one out. And by feel it out, like, oh boy, we got things happening everywhere. Pardon me, you guys, got a tickle in my throat. Okay, so by feeling it out, I don't mean like you feel it with your hands, but more with your heart, you know? And so how we feel a painting is just like, let your brush kind of roll with it. And the reason that I draw these in, it like roughly in, is because I paint how I feel. It's very quick that I can get out of control, and then the painting becomes a big mess. So I like to have it drawn out. Oh, my cat is into everything. I like to have it drawn out so we can keep things in order, but while still painting how we feel in our heart, how it feels in our, you know, our soul. So it's like, well, we felt a little bit of purple, but again, oh, okay, this cat, go play with your pencil. If you don't feel like doing them purple, but you want to do them pink, or you want to do them blue or whatever, you can put whatever base color you want down, whatever you're feeling. And on it, to be totally honest, don't like that paint. He's licking the paint. Jeez Louise, I'm sure there's something bad in there that you can't lick. To be totally honest, when I thought about painting this today, I really wanted to go in with neutral tones, like browns and like some soft beige colors and all that stuff. But I was like, no, because the original painting is a little bit more vibrant. But I might paint one that's just like more neutral tones anyways afterwards, because that's kind of what I'm feeling. But for the sake of this demo, so now we're going to go in and we're going to do our leaves, and we're just going to drop our color down, and we're going to go in with the olive green to start with, very diluted again. Dilute, dilute, dilute. And then go in and just loosely put some color down into all of the leaves. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea what I'm up against here with this cat. And continue on. Okay. So before I get carried away and get too onto this video, I wanted to just have a little chat with you guys about my videos. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed already, who likes the videos, who's contributed by commenting, who's been enjoying everything. Thank you. You guys are amazing, and you help me to learn so much as a watercolor artist. And I'm appreciative of everything. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Of all the feedback that you guys are giving me. I'm super appreciative of your support. This channel's been such a fun creative outlet for me so far. So thank you guys. I truly appreciate that. I've had a few people dislike my videos, and that is totally okay. And it totally comes with the nature of putting yourself out to the world, and that's okay. But my one thing I ask of you, if you don't like my videos and you're going to go so far as to put a thumbs down, can you please comment what you don't like, or send me an email about what you don't like? Because that's okay. I think we don't all have to love each other's art, and that's fine. But if you're going to go to the lengths of putting I don't like it, please, if you could tell me why, because that would truly help me in the future. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, he's like licking the water, and he's got water everywhere. Okay. Okay, you're gonna end up sick or something. Do you want a treat? Bubby, you want a treat? Oh, you want a treat? Oh my goodness, who gets a treat? Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, anyways, back to where I was at. Yeah, if you don't like my videos, that's totally cool, and I totally understand that. And I don't love all the videos that I watch either, but if I'm gonna go through the trouble to put a thumbs down, then I would definitely go through the trouble to tell them exactly what I didn't like about the video. So yeah, if you guys could do that for me, that would be amazing. And the only reason I'm asking is because it'll be helpful to me. I'm fairly new at this. I'm not going to lie. This is a new experience for me. I don't know that everything that there is to know about making tutorials, how the whole YouTube thing works. That's not something that I know everything about. I'm just learning as I go, you guys. So all the feedback you can give me, the greater. It will be helpful to my painting, to my YouTubing, to all that stuff. So if you guys can please let me know. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, because then that helps to push my videos out to the world. Yeah. When I did those washes, I guess I should say I used my number 12 round for those to start with. Okay, so things are drying up pretty good, but not totally, which is kind of where I want to be with the, when I'm dropping in some other colors of paint. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of brighter purple with these. And it's going to be the violet rose. So here's the thing, is that less is more, you guys. We don't want to get too crazy. So what I'm going to do, actually, yeah, I'm going to use my number 8, and I'm going to go in and drop droplets of water, whoopsie, and just kind of smush them around a little bit on the one side. And I'm going to go in with and lots of water and lots of pigment on the violet rose. And we're just going to start to drop some of that in there. And just kind of let it work its magic a bit. And we can like pull, oh, there's that puddle of water there. So I have a big puddle of water. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to soak up some of that water, because I don't want it to look like it dries as a puddle. You definitely want lots of water, but that was just too much. And if you like the look of it with a lot of water and it kind of looking like it dries like a puddle, that's fine too. Okay, so I got that down, and I'm just going to fan it out, taking some water off, but moving it around. Drying it off, moving it around. Okay, I think I like how that is looking. Okay, so while that's still wet, I'm going to go in with the regular violet. So this is our more deep purpley violet. And we're going to just add a teeny little bit of that into a couple parts of this area. And we're just going to let it kind of bleed in there naturally, just to add a little bit of interest. Okay? We can move it around a bit. Perfect. I like how that's looking. I think that's really pretty so far. Okay. So we're going to go up here and we're going to add some purple into this one, and we're going to start by adding it below. So we're just going to go in. My brush isn't totally clean, but that's okay. If you want it to be totally clean and no purple in there, then go clean off your brush. And we're just kind of going to add water, heavy on the water. Okay, great. So now we're going to go in again and we're going to add some of that rose violet, and we're going to go heavy in the corner and kind of drag it around into that water and just feel it out, you guys. And by that, I mean just feel how it moves, where you like it. If you need to add more, add less, take some color away, just feel it out. Sometimes, you know, you might feel a little bit more intense than other times and all that stuff. So just feel it out and pick up some of that color. If you think, oh, that's just a little bit too much, pick it up. You can get rid of it. Clean off your brush. Move it around. I like that intensity kind of under that corner. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to leave the lip of that just the color that it is. And I'm going to go into the middle here and we're going to drop down a little bit of color in there, or water in there. And I'm going to go in with some of that magenta rose, or magenta. Oh my gosh, you guys. In my head, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's magenta, but it's violet rose. It's been a bit of a day, you guys. It's been a bit of a day. Bear with me. Okay, I like a little bit of that. I'm going to scoop up some of that as I don't want it to be too intense. And it's okay if it's a little bit more intense kind of in this area. Okay, I like that. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm also going to add a little dab of the violet in here. Straight violet. I'm going to go heavy on color in the pigment there and just pop it underneath here. Because that's where the shadow would be because of the lip coming over. And I like that. That's really pretty. And I'm going to go drop a little bit of that up in here too. Because that's the center and that's going to be, you know, a little bit darker up in there. Okay, perfect. I'm really loving that so far, you guys. I think that looks really, really pretty. What do you guys think? Okay, I think what I was talking about earlier, I got a little sidetracked, but if you guys like the videos, please give me a thumbs up because that shares the vids out to the world. And the more people see them, then the more people get to see what I'm up to. If you don't like the videos, you can go ahead and give me a thumbs down. Like, that's totally fine too. I'd love it if you could just let me know why. That would be amazing. But I totally understand if that's not your jam, you just like to be that person that goes and gives thumbs down without saying why. Okay, well, I understand. There's people like that out there. Okay, so I want to go in with a little bit of turquoise blue, you guys. This is what we're going to get up to next. And so turquoise blue or any color blue. I'm going to go pretty heavy color, pretty heavy water as well. Like I dropped water down, my water splotches. And I'm just going to go in and just kind of drag it a bit and move it around just a teeny bit so it's just like that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a little bit of turquoise and I'm going to drop a little bit over here. Because why not? And like, you know, this part's going to be a little bit more intense in general because it's the center and everything's kind of comes down to it. So the middle, we're going to do a little bit more dark. And then the edges, just keep them a little bit brighter. Because it is opening up. I'm going to take some turquoise and I'm going to pop it up in here as well. But again, I don't want to get too crazy. I just want like a little hint of it. I think, you know, that'll be really pretty. I think that's like pretty amazing. I like it. I already feel like this is just like too busy or something. I don't know. That maybe makes me feel better. I'm going to drop some yellow into it now. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of purple violet over here. So again, you guys, I wish I could say like this is, you know, I'm doing this because of this and whatever, but it's like, ooh, I just kind of thought to myself, that's too blue. I want to put a little violet over there. Okay. So the next part, which I really loved in the OG one, was the yellow. I thought that really made them come to life. And so I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some of that. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. No, we're going to go in with the black, which is intense. But I want to do the black right now because I think I added it. I added a little bit of black to start with, and then I finished off with it. So I want to add some of that into this center piece. So it blooms out like that. I think that's pretty awesome. So I will add some now, and then we'll add some later. So heavy on the black, and just let it kind of blossom into that blue. I think that's like a really unique look there. And then likewise up here, we can go in and drop a little bit of black in there. We'll add some more later, but okay. I like that. I like that. I'm liking it. Okay, you guys, I'm going to give those flowers a rest for a minute, and I'm going to get on into these leaves. Why am I doing that? Because I can tell already that it's like getting pretty busy. I just need a break from them. So I'm just going to let them be a bit. And I'm going to move down here into the leaves. No, actually, let's start up here with this bud. So I'm just going to go in and drop a little bit of water down on the bud in like the shape of a line. And I'm going to go in with the Russian green. So it's kind of like a little bit of a foresty type green. It's a little bit darker green. I'm going to go in and just drop that water in there and kind of no particular way. I'm just going to get that in there. And I'm going to go, and I've already done one pass over on the stem, but I'm going to go do a second. Okay, now we're going to go into this leaf here. Dropping some color down. A little bit of that Russian green in there. Ooh, that was lots, but that's okay. Again, if it feels like it's too much, just go in and clean off your brush and just drag it around a bit. And this one I just kind of like, ooh, I'm feeling that leaf kind of dangling on there a bit. It's kind of going out to yonder, so I'm going to use a tiny little bit of this emerald green is what it's called. Just a little bit more color dropped into that. So we're going to just leave it at that for now. And we're going to go down here to these bottom ones. And we're going to just drop in some of that water. And then we're going to go back in with the Russian green. And we're going to drop in some of that color. And I don't want to overdo it. Like I don't want to overdo it. I want it to be just so. Because we're going to add a lot of detail in when we do our ink work at the end. And so it can become pretty busy. So we're just going to drop in that color. And I'm going to move it around. And I'm going to go in with like a little bit of more of that olive green. And just kind of pop it in there a bit. Because I'm feeling it. I love this olive green. Like it's a beauty. So now I'll go in with a little bit of emerald green because I did drop some of that in the top one. And so it's like, oh, well, I'll just add a little bit of that. But I don't want to add too much. I like it. Just a hint of it. Ooh, look at that. So pretty. Okay, amazing. All right. So I'm really enjoying that. In fact, I think I might want to take a little bit of that bright lemon, cadmium lemon yellow, and just like drop a teeny little bit of it in there. I don't know why. I just feel it. And that's what I mean by that. Like, let yourself just explore the paint and have fun with it. I always say with watercolor, though, like less is more, you guys. And so, and it truly is. You can easily ruin a painting by just like getting way out of control with the color. And that's why I just wanted to, with the flowers, I just wanted to hold up a minute because I thought, ooh, I'm loving them, but I may end up overworking them a bit. I don't want to do that. So I'm just doing in my stems here. I probably won't do much more than just like one pass, like this second pass over on them. And then this little bitty part here, I've done just the emerald green over top. I'm going to go just put a little bit of that olive green in there. Because why the heck not? Very pretty. Very, very, very pretty. Okay, so I do want to go in while these are still a little bit damp, and I just want to add in a bit of that intense, a little bit more of that intense like Russian green, but I'm actually going to go and add a teeny little bit of black into that green so it gets pretty dark, because this is going to be it. I'm just going to go in there for this last little dab of color for these leaves, and then that's going to be it for them. And I just want to do it kind of up in here where there would be some shadow. And I'm going to add some up in here. Yep. And again up in here. Cool. Okay, I actually think I'm going to go down these stems with one more darker shot through them. Just gives it a little bit more mood action going on. So we're using the Russian green mixed with a little bit of black to create that. That, you guys, is going to be it for the leaves. And in fact, I'm really actually already liking how these flowers are looking. But I want to go in and add a little bit of that yellow in there. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to do... I think I'm just going to drop a bit down here. Like, I'm not going to go too crazy with it. Maybe in a couple spots. And I'm just going to use that straight lemony, delicious yellow. And we're just going to pop it in there off to the side. That's going to create that look of, like, brightness. Ooh, that is yummy. I do like that. I do indeed. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, I do want to add a little bit of yellow up in here, so I'm just going to drop a little bit of that in here. And we're going to go straight in with that. And we'll probably just a little drop up here too, where it's like really bright. Yep. Yeah, I like that. So in this part here, I'm thinking like it's kind of just a little bit boring to me. So I want to go into this part here and just perhaps add a couple more droplets of color. And you know what, you guys, I'm feeling something a little bit different in this one. What do I feel there? I like this rose, violet rose, but I don't know something about it. Maybe I just need to go in more intense. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just drop that in there. So it's a little bit more intense in the color. I'll just like push it out a bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit of violet into there. Yep, I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit more turquoise, I think, down in here. I'm gonna go heavy turquoise. And then we'll go like heavy black. Actually, I'm gonna push this turquoise out a bit. So I'm moving it out with my brush. And then I'm just gonna go in with the black in the center as well. And let that just kind of be wild. And it's okay if it bleeds into other things. That's the beauty of the watercolor, you guys. That's what I love so, so much. Is just watching it have a mind of its own. It's so good. It's so delightful. Ooh, I'm liking that. I'm loving that going on there. So I'm going to leave quite a bit of this area open. We're going to do detailed work with our ink and all that stuff. So I'm not going to, you know, totally fill this up. Like I want to leave a little bit of it just looking kind of like brighter in spots. Okay. So this one's going to pool up quite a bit here. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out, some of that pooling water, and I'm going to let it almost totally dry. And then I'm going to go in with that black one more time. So I'm going to do that. And then in here, I'm really loving how that's looking. I just want to go a bit more intense up here in this corner. So I think I'm going to go in with that just straight violet. And drop that in there and then just wiggle it down a bit. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yummy. Ooh, yeah, I love how that just went. Yep. I like that. That is pretty awesome. So you can see it kind of like looks a little flat, like the color. And that's kind of why we don't go too heavy. It's like, ooh, I think I want to layer something more in there. So I'm actually going just like using, I'm not for this intense part what I'm doing right now. I'm just going in with color. And I'm dropping the color down. And this is just straight violet. And then I'm just going to wiggle that around a bit. Well, I need more violet. Okay, and so then I want a little bit more of that intense rose violet, and I want that over here. And then we can just kind of move that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and I'll just do a little, just a hint of that turquoise too. To just intense it up a bit. Just a little bit. Why not? But that looks really good. Okay, so that's looking pretty awesome, you guys. I'm really happy with how that's all coming together. So I think at this point we're going to add a few splashes of color on because I like the idea that these are still a little bit wet. Do I do that first? Yeah, I do. Okay, so we're going to go in and we're just going to splatter on some color right now. So we're going to start with the olive green. So we're going to go heavy. We're using our number 8 brush. Heavy, heavy, heavy on the color, heavy on the water. And we're going to do some sprinkles of that around. And we're going to go in with that Russian green. A little hint of that emerald. It's kind of a weird color. And I'm going to do a little bit of that violet, but I'm only going to do it close to these flowers. So I want to see it kind of like splatter away inside there, like inside the flowers. So like that. I'll use a little bit of this rose. Really clean off your brush for the yellow and load everything up. Like, oh yeah, I love this yellow. It's like happy goodness, juicy, lemony perfectness. Okay, I think that's good for the splatters because if we get too carried away, then it's just going to start to look messy. So I love how, you know, it's blooming into there. It looks really good. So the last thing I want to do is add a little bit more black into the center, but I want that to be a bit more dry just because it's still pretty wet. So we're going to let this dry a bit more. And then I'm going to go into the center and then do a little bit more black in there. Otherwise, everything's looking as good as I want it to look. So then the next order of business will be to get our metallic gold ink, or we could even do silver. You know what? I'm actually going to use silver because the last time I used gold. Let's be crazy. Oh, sorry guys. Okay. So I'm going to get my silver paint ready and we're going to just continue to let this dry up. And then we're going to finish it off, you guys. So it's kind of a quick little fun way to get your creative energy flowing again. If you're feeling like you're just a little bit stuck in the painting department, it's kind of good to just like drop down a simple drawing and then just do something very similar to this where you just kind of feel out what's going on. Because it just all of a sudden it's like inspiring again to just start getting creative with the color. And just like sometimes we can overthink painting and then we kind of get this like block going on where we just don't really think about, or we think too much about it. So, and we just don't let it be free. So I'm just going to let this dry up, you guys, a little bit more. And then I'm going to check in with you guys to finish off the center, do the gold or the metallic ink, and then we'll finish off with the Micron ink, you guys. But so far I think that's looking really, really pretty. So the details will all come when we use our magic detailers. So I'll check you guys in a bit here. Okay, so we're pretty dry. And what I wanted to do is get in with a little bit of the black here in the center before it's totally dry. So I'm going to get lots of black on, and I'm just going to go right in here. Oh, it's maybe been a little more dry than I thought. That's okay. I just wanted to go up in the center here and drag it around a bit. Pick up some of that, drop a little bit more in, straight black. Sorry, I woke you up, buddy. It's like I can't even help myself when I'm painting. Cat was sleeping in my bedroom. I just had to go give him some kisses and then woke him up. Now he's back in action. It's like, well, I can't even get mad at what I do. It's like ridiculous. Okay. Okay, no bobs. Ooh, yeah, I'm really liking how that's doing its thing there. That's looking really pretty. Okay, so we're going to start off, and I'm just being a little bit crazy, but the silver is like a little bit more of an intense color than the gold one is, but we're just going to go up here, and we're just going to start by like adding in some like little highlighty areas. They don't need to make a lot of sense. Just wiggle things around and that's okay. And just know that with the silver, if you're using this same silver, it can go over top. Like it can really cover up a color. So if you're using too much of it, it can really like it really does cover what's underneath of it. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, we're just kind of going around, and that's okay. Like it's kind of bleeding in, and I don't mind that at all. So we're just going on the leaves here and just adding. Just some pizzazz. We don't want to get too crazy. So in the flower, I'm just going to work our way out from the center a little bit. And we're just going to put in a few of those lines in there. And that's going to be it for that silver. So I know it's not a whole big bunch, but it's just enough to kind of like spruce things up a bit. And then we're, okay, you can't get the paint out of there. I closed the paint up on him and he's digging in the paint to try to get it out. But, so now we're here at this point in the game and we're going to let this all totally dry. And then we're going to, my microphone is doing wonky things. And we're going to go in with a Micron 03. I got to get some new Micron pens ASAP. We're going to go in with a Micron pen once everything is totally dry. Dry. So you can see it's still a little bit wet there. So I just want to remind you guys that if you like the video, do give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe because then you will get to see all the awesome videos that are to come. And honestly, it's, you know, an intuitive watercolor painting channel. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try to do as many tutorials as I can. A lot of times I paint, it's like my therapy. So a lot of times I paint and I can't do the instruction at the same time because I'm processing something in my life or whatever the case might be. So if you see a short, that's typically what I'm up to. And if you love it, comment on it and be like, please do a tutorial on this. And then that way I know if you want to see a tutorial on something or not. So yeah, I will check you guys back here in a brief minute once this is all dry, which is getting there. Just, you know what, I can start with actually these leaves. So yeah, anyways, follow along with my channel if you like what's going on, and I hope that you guys really enjoy these videos. And again, if you're going to give me a thumbs down, if you would be so kind to just let me know why, that'd be amazing. So once again, I'm just going to get in here and just feel the freeness of putting down the pen to create more detail. It's good. Like, it's just kind of good to just flow with how you're feeling. And like, it doesn't maybe make sense, you know, where the lines are, but that's okay. It makes sense because it feels good, you know? And I know it's not easy to paint like this or to draw like this or to create art like this. It takes time because I find myself getting back to like I can paint freely for a while, then all of a sudden I can see my pictures becoming more and more and more rigid, and that's fine. I love painting like, you know, more realistic for sure, but this is stuff that I would do when I just need to get out of my head when it comes to a painting. So we can go around the outside edge of this. Flower, but it's not totally dry on the center yet, so we're not going to be doing the center work, but we can do the outline. And that's totally cool. This one's pretty wet too, but we can kind of go right on. I like the looks of that. We can do our statement. I gotta look up these terms to be 100% correct. I'm sitting here saying, I'm just gonna do like just a little bit of line work in there. And that's our little middle piece. All good. We're gonna do more line work in these once they're totally dry. So yeah, we're just adding the detail in there. So That one is just a little bit wet yet. Okay, I got the detail I want there. Okay, so in the middle of this one, we can start working on this one because it's dry. So we want everything to look like it's coming down to the center now. So this is kind of where we want our lines to come towards the middle because it gives that illusion that it's all going inward. You can do lots of line work or as little as you want. Okay, and then we're going to do some line work on the lip of this thing coming down. And a little of it coming from the top down as well. So you're just going to want to be a little bit more detailed in this so that you can really see the movement, but you just have to be careful because you want it to still look like it's folding over. So just be careful. If you don't want to do any, that's fine. Totally fine. If you don't want to do any in that little, like you can, if you want to add lines somewhere, add them. And if you don't have to. It's totally all good. Okay, so we're going to start up in here and we're going to go and we're going to start our lines. So we're not going to do lines all the way across, you guys, because we want to give the illusion that's like folding over. This just takes practice again to kind of know where to put those lines to make them look, you know, like to give that look that the petal is folding over. It just takes a bit of practice to understand that. Again, you can probably go find a few videos on how to draw flowers and probably I like that. Get some real good tips on how to draw flowers a little bit more in depth than what I can do for you guys. But just as I've said before, I'm not a drawing channel, it's a painting channel. So while I would love to spend all my time talking about that, there's so many more amazing YouTubers out there than me that can teach you how to draw unbelievably well. So I think for me, how I learned was probably maybe not so much YouTube because, you know, YouTube wasn't really around a whole big bunch when I was learning art. But like drawing books and I mean the internet, yeah, definitely. But I kind of really got into YouTube once I met my boyfriend. He's a big YouTube guy. And that's pretty much how I kind of got into it. It's only in the last 5 years. But yeah, there's like such amazing artists, so many amazing talented people on YouTube. It's unbelievable. So if you're ever wanting to learn a little something more, you guys can find it on the YouTube. So if it comes to drawing a flower and I'm not really doing it justice for you, you're just not understanding, you can just Google something up and you'll be able to find something amazing that can help you out. And you can, if you're struggling to find something, which I can maybe lead you in the right direction, I can look something up or try to look something up for you if you need a little bit of help with that. Yeah, so we all just want to be able to be creative and feel confident in being creative. So whatever whatever you guys can do to get yourselves there, you know? I want to help that. And I want everybody to create. If you want to, then you should. Because creating is such a freeing thing to do. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then this one here, we're just gonna do some line work coming up and line work coming down. Oh, I didn't do this triangle part yet. Didn't outline it. Oh my gosh, my pen is toast. I don't know if it's because I got ink. Oh, there we go, racket action. Sweet. Okay, I gotta clean that off. Okay, I love how that looks, you guys. I think it looks really pretty. So the last thing we're gonna do is go and sprinkle on a little bit of this. Actually, I'm gonna sign my name first because it takes forever to dry. Once we go in with our metallic and do our splatters of paint. So I'm gonna use my number 1 script again. And we're gonna load it up with lots of metallic ink. Actually, first things first, I want to do metallic up these little middle. I was kind of thinking about that as I was doing them. I'm like, ooh, I want those to be silver. Okay, and so we're going to load up tons of metallic on there, and we're going to sprinkle from the middle of the flower out, okay? Yeah, lots heavy in the middle. I love that. I love that so much. And we're going to do the same thing kind of coming out of this one. Like just crazy in there. Ooh, that's yummy. And then a little less as we go outside of the flowers, okay? Yeah. It's kind of wild and crazy, but I love it. Okay, you guys, so that's going to wrap it up for the picture. I'm going to quickly take off this tape, but I'm not going to be too crazy because it's still really wet. So I'm going to take it off so we can see it all finished up. I think it turned out really beautiful, you guys. I'm loving that. It really is kind of bringing me into a happy place, these little morning glories in all their glory. So yeah, I've been really busy lately, so I've been struggling to get these tutorials once a week right now, but I'm gonna keep trying. It's gonna get really busy with garden season, so I'm a little fearful of how that's gonna work out for me because I'm a big gardener. I grow cut flowers. I have a YouTube channel called Outgrowin' where I share farm life, garden life, that kind of stuff. So I grow a ton of cut flowers, which is my subject matter for all these beautiful paintings. I'm interested to see how I'm going to schedule my schedule. I'm going to schedule tutorial days. Like this has got to become like a job type thing. All right, you guys. So, oops, I peeled that a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so it's still wet, so I'm not going to move it around too much. But that's going to do it for that beautiful, beautiful painting there. See, like, that's what I mean. Like, you can kind of see that the silver actually covers up quite a bit of that black. So I might go in once it's dry and just touch up the little stamen thing. I think that's what that is, the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. Then I'm going to touch that up with a little bit of the black because it kind of gets lost in there. But otherwise, I think it looks really pretty. What do you guys think? All right, you guys. Well, that's going to do it for me for this video. If you like it, give me the thumbs up. Excuse my hair-colored hands. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And we will check you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching.